Good evening. In this session, we will discuss about development of female gametophyte, development of male gametophyte, double fertilization and triple fusion from the chapter reproduction. First, development of female re female gametophyte, and also it can also be called mega gametophyte. Mega gametophyte. Right. Let's start with an anatropous ovule. We know that there are around 6-7 ovules are there in angiosperm. The anatropous ovule is very common one. Around 60% of the angiosperm has anatropous ovule, which is inverted. Let me draw an anatropous ovule. The anatropous ovule has got two layers, or else it can be called two integuments. Two integuments. Outer integument and inner integument. And inside there are number of nucellus tissues. There are number of nucellus tissues are present inside the ovule, which are protected by the integuments. The top region is called chalasalent and the bottom is called microphylla end. So it's a chalasalent, the microphylla. At one point, what happens to this anatropous ovule? As we know, there are a number of nucellus tissues near to the microphylla region. There is one nucellus tissue acts as megaspore mother cell. One nucellus tissue acts as megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell has to undergo meiotic division. One meiotic division. As a result, it produces 1, 2, 3, 4 megaspore. All of them are linear. All 4 megaspore are linear. Among the 4 megaspore, the 3 are degenerated. In order to nourish this functional megaspore. So 3 get degenerated in order to nourish the functional megaspore. Now this functional megaspore has to undergo, this is a functional megaspore, has to undergo karyokinesis and 3 mitotic division. So karyokinesis, the meaning of karyokinesis is the division of nucleus, division of only nucleus, and 3 mitotic division. Let us see what happens when it undergoes 3 mitotic division. When it undergoes 3 mitotic division, the first mitotic division, it synthesizes 2 nucleus, and the second mitotic division, it synthesizes 4 nucleus, and third mitotic division, it synthesize 8 nucleus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8 nucleus. The 8 nucleus, 3 of them join and make a move towards opposite poles. So, for example, this I'm drawing a big embryo, embryo sac. The 3 cells moved to antipodal cell region, and the other 3 are moved to the micropylar region, and they make cell wall around them. So now it is cytokinesis takes place. So here karyokinesis, here cytokinesis. Karyokinesis undergoes only division of nucleus. Cytokinesis makes cell wall around them. So these middle 2 nucleus are called polar nuclei. Okay. Now this is called embryo sac, well developed embryo sac, which can also be called female gametophyte. Female gametophyte. And this can also be called monosporic type. Monosporic type. Why it is monosporic type? Because with one functional megaspore, it is able to produce a large sized embryo sac with 7-celled 8 nucleus. This can also call 7-celled 8 nucleus. 7-celled 8 nucleus. Why 7-cell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cell. 8 nucleus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nucleus. So with this, we complete development of female gametophyte. And coming to the next point is the next one will be development of male gametophyte. Let us now discuss about the development of male gametophyte. This is a microspore. It has a nucleus. The outer wall is called exine. The inner one is called intine. As we know, exine is the hardest substances which protects the inner nucleus. So exine is made up of sporopollen substances, chemical. That's why it is very hard. And the cell must have a vacuole and one nucleus, right? This is a vacuole and one nucleus. And now it has to undergo mitotic division, and the microspore produces 2 cells by undergoing mitotic division. One is vegetative cell, the other one is generative cell. So one is vegetative, the other is generative cell. 60% of angiosperm plants, the microspore released in 60% of plants in angiosperm, and remaining 40% of angiosperm released in priest celled stage. That means there will be two nucleus and one vegetative, two generating nucleus, one vegetative nucleus. So 60% of angiosperm plants release the pollen grain in two scaled stages, and 40% of angiosperm plant, the pollen grains are released in three cell stages. Let us consider only 60% of the angiosperm plants which releases in two cell stage. However, this pollen grain has to fall on the stigma of the female organ. There you see ovule, right? Stigma. Now, after it falls on the stigma, it has to germinate. It has to germinate into the stem. When the pollen grain germinates, always the vegetative nucleus comes first. Vegetative nucleus comes first. Second, the generative nucleus comes behind. When the generative nucleus, the vegetative nucleus, also called tube nucleus. It's also called tube nucleus, and it helps the pollen tube to grow towards the ovule. And generative nucleus undergoes mitotic division and produces two nucleus there. Now, the big embryo sac has got three cells here and three cells at the top and two cells in the middle. These two are called synergid cell, and this is egg cell, and this is polar nucleus. This is polar nucleus, antipodal cells. Okay, antipodal cells. So what happens? The pollen grain has to come down, isn't it? The pollen grain has to come towards the pollen has to come towards the micropylar region. This is a micropylar region. It has to come towards the micropylar region, which carries two male gametes. The two male gametes comes in the micropylar region, and here there is a structure called falciparum apparatus, which guides the pollen tube towards into the embryo sac. As a result, the pollen tube enters into the embryo sac and releases the two male gametes. The two male gametes is going to do a fertilization. The first male gamete fuses with polar nuclei. The second male gamete fuses with egg cell. Now, first fertilization, male gamete with egg and forms zygote. Zygote is diploid, haploid, haploid. One fertilization over. The second fertilization, the second male gamete fuses with male gamete, fuses with secondary nucleus. This is the second nucleus. Polar nucleus is called secondary nucleus because they fused, these two nucleus already fused together and form secondary nucleus and form PEN, primary endosperm nucleus. So therefore, double fertilization. There is a double fertilization and triple fusion. So what is the double fertilization? Because two male gametes, one fuses with the secondary nucleus, the other one fuses with the egg nucleus. So double fertilization. What are triple fusion? One fuses with the egg nucleus is one fusion, and say this one fuses with the endosperm nucleus two fusion, and already the polar nuclei, there are two polar nuclei and they fuse together, so therefore three fusion. So triple fusion and double fertilization. Thank you.